Hello and welcome everyone! Have you ever wondered how we draw things, like a house or a star, or even just a simple square? Well, every single shape, no matter how complicated, is made from a few secret ingredients. And today, we're going to learn exactly what those are. It's kind of like learning your ABCs before you can read. So, are you ready? Let's get started.
Here's a quick look at our plan for today. First, we'll start with the absolute basics: points, lines, and planes. Then, we'll see what happens when these things meet or cross each other. After that, we'll get into 3 special kinds of lines. We'll even learn the cool math language, the symbols that we use for them. And to finish up, we'll figure out how to find the exact middle of a line. We're going to take it one small step at a time, so it'll be super easy, I promise.
All right, let's jump right into our first topic, the basics. I like to call these the ABCs of all shapes. Seriously, you have to know your letters before you can spell a word, right? Well, in geometry, you need to know points, lines, and planes before you can really understand shapes. So let's meet them.
So what are they? First up, we have a point. A point is just a dot. That's it. It marks a single spot, a specific location. Easy, right? Now, what do you think happens if you put a whole bunch of points right next to each other, in a perfectly straight row? You get a line. Now, the important thing to remember in math is that a line goes on forever and ever in both directions. It never stops. And what if we take a bunch of lines and lay them side by side? Well, we get a plane. Just think of a perfectly flat surface, like a piece of paper or the top of your desk. And just like a line, a plane goes on forever in all directions. It's a huge, flat sheet that never ends.
Okay, so we know about our 3 building blocks: points, lines, and planes. Now let's ask a fun question. What happens when they meet? What happens when they cross or touch each other? This is where things get really interesting.
So when 2 lines cross over each other, they meet at one single tiny spot. We have a special name for this. We call it a meeting point. Makes sense, right? It's the point where they meet. You can see these everywhere. If you look at the letter X, the spot right in the middle, that's a meeting point. The corner of a picture frame, that's a meeting point where 2 sides come together.
Now, what about our flat surfaces, our planes? What happens when 2 of them meet? Well, think about a closed notebook. You have the front cover and the back cover. Those are 2 planes. And where they meet, they form that straight edge, the spine of the book. That edge is what we call a meeting line. Or think of a room. Where the wall meets the floor, that's a meeting line too.
We've been talking a lot about lines, but you know what? In math, we have to be very precise. And it turns out there are actually 3 special types of lines. Knowing the difference between them is super important. So let's take a closer look at each one.
This little chart makes it all so clear. First, on the left, we have the line segment. A line segment is just a small piece of a line. The key thing is that it has a starting point and an ending point. It stops. The edge of your ruler, that's a line segment. Next is the line, which we already know. It's the one that goes on forever in both directions. It never ever stops. And finally, we have the ray. A ray is a mix of the other 2. It has a starting point, but no endpoint. It just keeps going and going in one direction. The perfect example is a ray of sunshine. It starts at the sun, but then it travels on forever through space.
So writing out line segment or ray that starts at A and goes through B every single time would take forever. Mathematicians needed a shortcut. So they came up with a set of special symbols. It's like a secret code for geometry. And it's actually really easy once you see it. Let's learn the code.
Check this out. The symbols are basically tiny pictures of the lines themselves. For a line segment from point A to point B, we just write AB with a short, flat line right over the top. See? No arrows. That tells you it stops. For a line that passes through A and B, we write AB with a little line on top that has arrows on both ends. Those 2 arrows are your clue that it goes on forever in both directions. And finally, for a ray that starts at A and goes through B, we write AB with an arrow on top that points in just one direction. See how the arrow shows you which way it's going forever? Pretty clever, right?
Okay, I have a really important question for you now. I want you to think carefully about this one. We just learned about rays. So, is ray AB the same thing as ray BA? What do you think? Remember, which letter is the starting point? And the answer is no. They are totally different. This is a big one, so make sure you get this. Ray AB starts at point A and then goes on forever past point B. Its journey starts at A. But ray BA, it starts at point B and goes on forever past point A.
So they start at different places and they're pointing in opposite directions. For rays, the order of the letters matters a lot.
We are on our very last topic for today. You guys are doing great. Let's go back and think about the line segment for a minute. Remember, it's the one that has a start and an end. And because it stops, it has a certain length. And if something has a length, we can find its exact middle.
And that middle point has a perfect name, the midpoint. The name tells you exactly what it is. Mid means middle, so the midpoint is the point that's exactly in the middle. It cuts a line segment into two perfectly equal pieces. Imagine you have a Kit Kat bar and you want to share it with your friend. You break it right in the middle so you both get the same size piece. The midpoint is just like that break. If M is the midpoint of a line segment AB, it means the length of part AM is exactly the same as the length of part MB.
Okay, let's try a quick problem together. It's pretty straightforward. We have a line segment named AB, and its total length is 12 centimeters. The problem tells us that M is the midpoint. So the question is, how long is just the piece from A to M? Well, what's the first thing we remember? A midpoint cuts the line in half. It makes two equal parts. So we just need to find half of the total length. What's half of 12? We just do 12 divided by 2. And what does that give us? 6, that's right. So the length of AM is 6 centimeters. You did it. See? Not so bad.
Wow, look at everything we learned today. Let's just quickly recap. We learned that every shape is built from three basic things: points, lines, and planes. We discovered the three special lines: the line segment that stops, the line that's endless, and the ray that has a start but no end. We also learned the secret code, the special symbols we use for each one. And finally, we found out that the midpoint is the exact center of a line segment.
You all did an absolutely amazing job today. Seriously. Sometimes math can seem big and scary, but really, it's all about taking small, simple steps, one after the other. And today, you took a huge first step into the world of geometry. You should be really proud of yourselves.
So, for the rest of the day, I have a little challenge for you. As you walk around, I want you to look for these shapes. Look at the corner of a table. Look at the edge of a sidewalk. Look at the flat surface of a wall. And just think, how many points, lines, and planes does it take to build everything we see? It's pretty amazing when you think about it. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye for now.